Hello, everybody, and welcome to From the Mezzanine. I'm your host, Lindsay Stone. From the Mezzanine is the Broadway podcast for the Broadway fans, where we talk about all things Broadway news, Broadway grosses, and let's be honest, all of the tea and gossip that happens week to week in the Broadway stratosphere. Guess who's here?
Hi, everyone. I'm
Bryn,
back.
everybody's favorite Broadway bestie.
I hope so.
How's it going, Bryn?
It's going great.
It's crack-a-lackin'.
Not much.
Yeah.
Chill weekend, a couple shows.
Yeah, we were busy last night, which we have to talk about and catch up on. We saw SUFFS, which
there it is.
Was fan-freaking-tastic. Should we go ahead and get into it? Is there anything you need to update the people on, or should we get into our Broadway recap?
I don't think so. I think we can get right into it.
I think so. Before we get into it, look what I got made.
Are they little postcards?
Yes, yeah, for the Patreon. For the Broadway Besties, y'all. I send out a hand-signed postcard for my Broadway Besties with a thank you note, and I got them made. And so if you are a Broadway Bestie, you can expect to get one of these bad boys in the mail here soon. Aren't they adorable? One. I know, I'll give you one. I'll be like, thank you for coming on the pod. Be adored.
I'll put it on my wall.
So go become a Broadway Bestie if you're interested in that over on the Patreon. Me and Bryn are filming a vlog this weekend that'll be up on the Patreon soon. I will be uploading my vlog from last weekend. Was that last weekend or was that 2 weekends ago? Oh my God. It has been so busy. When we went and saw Great Gatsby and Sweeney Todd, and that was a really fun vlog that will be up there soon. And then, like I said, me and Bryn are vlogging. We're vloggers. And has anything crazy happened on the vlog yet? Maybe tonight.
Last night we said the exact same thing at the exact same time, unplanned.
That was funny.
That was funny.
That was
but
good.
I don't think anything crazy has happened yet. It was pretty chill.
Happen
it was
tonight.
Pretty chill.
It was a
Friday night on Broadway.
Very chill night on Broadway, which was kind of surprising.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, usually they're so hectic. Like, what's going on? Maybe I'm not used to it because it's been like holidays and a lot of touristy people have been in. But it's April. I wouldn't think it would be that dead, but it was hella dead.
Yeah. I think SUFFS ran kind of long. Yeah. And it was at 8, not 7.
True.
So I think a lot of shows had like fully cleared out.
True. Okay, well then, without further ado, y'all, let's talk about SUFFS, the musical, which we went and saw. Bryn, tell us how we got the tickets.
We rushed the tickets. So this was our second time trying for the rush. So I tried last Friday as well. Last Friday I got there around 8:45.
Mm-hmm.
And what they're doing is the first 19 tickets sold during previews are $19.20 because 1920 was the year the movement was
19th Amendment was passed. Yeah.
So we tried it last week. I think I was like 14th in line or something, and I missed it by 2 people. They also do $45 rush, but I didn't want to. We just chose to try again. And then yesterday, I got there at like 8:15, and I was 10th in line, and everyone can buy 2. So
our odds were a little risky.
If everyone bought 2, I would be able to get the last $19 and one $45, which I would have.
We would have done at that point. Yeah, for sure.
Because previews end in like a week.
Yes.
But we got 2. I think the person behind me got the last one.
Yeah.
So
close call.
That's how we did it.
Yeah.
It is a crazy rush line. I think by the end there were like 18 people behind me.
That's what happens when you have a discounted ticket price.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. For $19, we were on the 3rd row and we were all the way to the far right. I feel like I really didn't miss anything. There are certain theaters where when you're on a far side, cough, cough, The Notebook, as many of you guys know, the seats are atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
But this, it really was not bad to be that far over. You miss like seeing the full vision, but I certainly did not mind this go round at all. I wasn't straining to look at like any full scenes that were happening.
No, I think the biggest, part of it is that SUFFS is done like mostly on the front half of the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's not a lot happening at the back. I think if we missed anything, it was just like the layout of the choreography probably like looked cooler from like dead center middle.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But I'm not paying $250. So I think like where we were versus like 2 seats over or 2 seats over from there would not have made any difference.
Are their ticket prices high like that?
I think like generally like a center mid orchestra ticket anywhere on Broadway is going to be $175 to $200.
Yeah.
I don't know any shows lower than that.
Yeah, it's a really small theater too. I don't know how many seats, but it just felt really like intimate and nice. That's where I saw Pearly Victorious. I think that's the only show that I have seen there. And it felt very fitting for a play. For a musical, it feels like a little bit small. It's Bryn's favorite theater.
It's my favorite theater.
Why, Bryn?
I think it's just over 1,000 seats.
Okay. Yeah, that's small.
It's a similar size to where the Notebook is.
Yeah.
It's obviously bigger than where Kimberly Akimbo is at the booth.
It doesn't feel bigger.
Really?
No, it feels really small
like,
to me.
That theater's like 600 seats or 700.
Let's do a little deep dive. Okay, the Notebook Theater, we're not looking at like one night. I'm looking at their capacity. So no, I probably shouldn't look at that. Let's look.
I have this weird suspicion that the Music Box is 1,076.
Oh my God.
Let's see if I'm right. But it's my favorite theater because that's where Dear Evan Hansen was. And just over 2 years ago, I saw Dear Evan Hansen there for the first time, and it kind of sparked the spiral that has now led me here.
Yeah. Okay, so the Music Box has a capacity of 1,025.
Okay, so
the Schoenfeld, which has the Notebook, is 1,080. The Schubert is 1,502. What's in the Jacobs right now?
Outsiders.
1,078. So these are all really close.
So that's where I got the 1,076.
Let's look at Booth.
Schubert is Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
Booth is like 672 or something.
800.
Oh, okay. 672, I might be thinking of like the Haze.
It's like a corner theater. You would think it would be bigger. It didn't feel that small to me at all. Yeah,
it's
really
it's
didn't.
A tiny mezzanine.
Oh,
and there's no balcony.
Well, I wasn't in the mezzanine for that one, so.
Also with the Booth, like there's the 2 aisles, but there's not aisles on the side.
You know it way too well. Like, I can't even picture it. I've only been in that theater. No, I saw. Oh, well, I might have seen. Where's Hell's Kitchen again? Say
Schubert.
I think that's where I saw To Kill a Mockingbird. I think maybe Kimberly's the only thing I saw in the Booth. Well, the more you know.
I feel like I know every theater I've been in that well, though.
Wow.
I
that's
pay a
remarkable.
lot of attention. Anyway.
That's super duper impressive. Okay, so specific to SUFFS, we got our $19 tickets. Hell of a deal, y'all. That was so beyond worth it. Thank God. I hadn't seen a whole lot online about SUFFS. Here and there, people were saying good and negative things, like just kind of mediocre in the middle. And I was surprised to see some somewhat negative reviews, especially after I've seen it myself. But I will say, at the stage door, to jump a little bit, everybody was saying that we were like the best audience that they have had yet, which was so great to hear. They were like, it seems like there were a lot of younger people in the audience tonight and that y'all were just like holding on to every word and laughing and y'all are being very emotive with us. And I felt that. Like, I felt a lot of emotion for this show because one, it's an all-female cast, and it depicts this story that I've never heard portrayed on Broadway before. The closest thing would probably be 1776 with the all-female cast recently.
Yes, but 1776, it was like females playing men.
Right, yeah.
So this was females playing females.
And men.
And some men, but
there's
not like a lot of like female historical figures.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's cool.
Yeah, it was really, really nice, and I felt like from the jump, the music was incredibly strong. The book was really easy to follow, which is really surprising, especially like Bryn is Canadian. She said before it started, she was like, if this is heavily based in American history, I'm going to be so lost. She was like, the only American history I know is what I know from Hamilton, which is so valid.
It's
That's so valid. However, it was so easy to follow, which I feel like was probably kind of hard to achieve because they covered like a decade, if not longer than a decade. And a lot of big moments. It started out with the Women's March, and then it went into like the suffragette movement of them going into prison and going on a hunger strike. There was a lot of different like big storylines, but it all felt really linear to me. It didn't feel like we were jumping around, although we were. They would come out and like announce, okay, it is now 1916, and then like to show you the passage of time. But it felt like it moved super smoothly, which I think is an incredible achievement.
I think for like a historical show, it can be hard to feel smooth when things are like in history, like years apart.
Yeah.
And I think it did a really good job at that. I kind of had 2 favorite parts of it. One is the music. I think me and Lindsay talked about this. A lot of shows this season the music isn't part of the story. It's kind of just like on the side. I think Outsiders does a really good job at that, which we're going to see soon. Hopefully. I saw it a few weeks ago and it was incredible. But like Notebook, I love the Notebook music, but it's not part of the story really.
So like what we were talking about was that the music is describing what they are actually doing. And I talked about this when we recapped The Notebook is I like musicals where they paint the picture of what's going on stage in your head. And it's okay if it's abstract, that's fine, but that's not my particular taste. And that's how this show was. It was a little bit more, I don't know what to say other than like classic musical,
well,
very like they're describing what they're doing, but
the music actually tells part of
the story. Oh, eloquently said.
Like
That's
the music,
exactly what we're trying to say.
The music moves the story forward. It's not
Yes.
just like a stop. We have this cute little like love song and then we start the story again. The music makes the story move, which I really liked. Obviously,
exactly.
It's very like that's what a musical is. I'm not saying that a musical has to be that for me to like it, but it moves the story forward.
And we cannot talk about the music without talking about Shayna Taub, who wrote the book, the music and lyrics, and starred in the leading role as Alice Paul. No, Elise. Is it Elise Paul? It's Alice? Okay, because at the end they called her like the wrong. Okay, I just felt like I was that girl. It's Alice Paul. That's funny that they made that joke because it's literally spelled like Alice.
It was like when they jumped forward like a number of years. And it was a younger, like, woke.
The new up and
girly.
coming movement, women's movement. Anyways, but she basically had what seems like the largest hand in creating this show. And she was really remarkable. I thought her voice was beautiful. I cannot wait until this cast album comes out because I will be listening to it religiously. I really, really liked the music. It was nice. I loved All American Bitch. Wait, you know what that made me think of?
What?
It's called Great American Bitch. Last night, I was like the Olivia Rodrigo song.
Oh my God.
All American.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, that's so similar. They should do a crossover.
True.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that while we were watching it though, even though like I love that song. And it's like such a big pop song. It's just kind of funny. Modern day imitating art.
I liked the music. The cast was amazing. The other thing I was going to say, my other favorite part, is their embodiment of their characters was incredible.
Yeah.
Like they stayed so true to who they were playing for the entire thing. Like no faltering. The growth of the characters made sense. The development of the characters made sense. Like every little thing felt thought out for every single character, even like what they were wearing, like their hairstyles. I just thought the characterization of it was really, really good.
I completely agree. And they were such distinct characters. You had this Polish woman who was really like hardcore and she was like kind of the muscle behind the movement. And then you had, you know, one of our favorite girls, Hannah Cruz, who is from The Connector. She was more like this heiress and she was like the public face of the movement. And then you had Alice Paul, who was the mind of the movement. Anyways, it was just like a really beautiful mixture of all of these different women and character types. And it made me really proud because you don't get to see a lot of different character types. Think about The Outsiders. I haven't seen it, but I feel like I remember. Explain the female character in that, because I want to make a comparison to like Daisy and Gatsby. She's helpless. She's definitely like the damsel in distress type. I love Daisy. I love that character, but you don't get to see a lot of resilient, strong women on Broadway, much less an entire cast of them.
Yeah. My literal biggest criticism about The Outsiders is that I thought the female character was useless.
Oh, wow.
Sorry. She was good, but it like really meant absolutely nothing to me.
Okay.
So it was kind of the same, like it gave me like Footloose or like Grease vibes where she like they want to fall in love, but they're from different classes and they can't.
Oh, like just the token female character.
Yes. And then the other females in it, I think there are 3 other females in it who end up playing men in the end.
Oh, okay.
And like those in certain scenes they're men and in certain scenes they're women.
Okay. Yeah.
So she's the only one who like stays a female the whole time.
Okay. And in her character, like same character. Yeah. Okay, understood. Yeah. So let's talk about set. Set was very minimalistic feeling. It didn't take away or add to the show too much. I didn't mind it though.
I actually thought it was really smart.
Yeah, I liked it.
And I think it was very visually appealing.
It was.
Like, it was pretty, it was clean. Mm-hmm. It was definitely simple, but I think the ability to like distinctly have different settings while not having a lot of set, I thought was really cool. And there was a cool effect at the end.
So they take you to a prison, they take you to the White House steps, into the Oval Office, they take you to the suffragette office, they take you to the Women's March, they take you to a lot of different places. It is like a screen in the back that is, digitally showing where they're at, but they also utilize these sliding pieces that come in and out. And sometimes to me, those can look really shoddy and like really like unstable. Like, for example, in Gatsby, whenever they're in the Plaza hotel room, at one point, Tom Buchanan exits and he slams that door and the entire set went like this. And I was like, oh my God, we're getting a live theatrical moment. The set is about to fall apart because it literally looks like that. Yeah.
There was one point last night where things that came down from the ceiling, like two of the big doors were like swaying a little bit, but nothing crazy.
Yeah.
I like the set.
Yeah.
Another cool thing, this is not about the set, but that we found out at the stage door, Shayna Taub said that they froze the show yesterday.
Yes.
So we saw like the first performance of the final version of it, which was it was cool to be able to see that. Because I said to Lindsay after, I was like, I wonder if they're making any more changes. And then she came out and was like,
we froze it today. And it was crazy to hear it from her. And it was very like Jonathan Larson moment or, Hamilton moment, writing like you're running out of time. These people, they never feel like their baby is ready and like in its final form. And so they just have to have this deadline. And so that was like crazy hearing it from her. And she was like, yeah, we froze it. And she was talking to other people. She was like, please bring your friends. I hope this finds, its audience, which is such a struggle for Broadway shows, especially now when there's so many new musicals. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a very nice story. It's something you walk away from and you've learned something and you know more than you knew going into it. It's definitely a story that I don't feel like has been told before or enough. And so I just thought I really, really liked it. It was good.
I think too, like, they were all so nice.
Yes.
After every single person who came out that stage door was so nice. Like, we had conversations with multiple people. I love Hannah Cruz because I'm obsessed with The Connector. She was so nice. Her fiance was there. We actually also saw someone from The Outsiders at the stage door. And I decided to like say hi to him and be like, love your show. And we had a full conversation with him. It was so nice. Everyone was just so lovely. We didn't wait right till the very end. And once we left, I was like, oh, we didn't see Jen Colella come out, who was in the OG cast of Come From Away. But I'm sure I will see that show again.
Easily, for sure.
You know what I found out last night when I was reading about it? Philippa Sue played Hannah Cruz's role at the Public.
Stop. How long ago was it at the Public?
2022.
Okay, I thought it was a minute ago. Oh my God.
Yeah. I wonder why she didn't.
I love you, Hannah Cruz. I love you.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing. And I wish Philippa was in this in some form or fashion. Oh my God.
I wonder why she didn't transfer.
I feel like it was probably personal reasons. I did hear one of the women say, the one who played the Polish woman, she was like, a lot of the characters have changed.
Yes.
Maybe just because it was 2 years ago. It wasn't like an instant transition or like 6 months, So
and they would have had to, they probably put in a lot of work. They also said it was over 3 hours before.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah.
So they said the songs have completely changed, and that's what should happen. You should take, that time to improve your show, iron out the kinks. So what would, or do you have any critiques for it? I would just say the first act felt like a little bit long to me. I think some things could be shored up and just tightened. However, whatever. It's the next day, which usually once I, after a show, oftentimes I'm like, oh, that was so good. And you're like living on a high. And then the next day you're like, yeah, it was all right. No, today I'm like, that was a great show. Really glad that I saw it. And in the moment it felt like a touch long, but it wasn't detrimental to the experience.
This is a spoiler alert, I thought it was kind of weird when the character, this is like such a spoiler. I'm trying to think of how I can say it without spoiling it a lot, but I'm going to spoil it a lot.
So spoiler alert, guys.
If you don't want to hear a spoiler, fast forward like a minute.
It also is historical though, so it is all out there.
One of the characters dies at the end of the first act.
You can say who.
Hannah Cruz's character, Inez, dies at the end of the first act, but comes back kind of as like a ghost. I didn't love that. I think part of it was really good. And then there was one part where they were all doing this dance and she was like weaving in and out in this like weird like gold brass outfit. And I was this feels unnecessary. But it wasn't a big thing. I also, reflecting on it now on my walk home last night, I was almost like angry a little bit. And I think it was because in that final song, the whole thing is like so female empowerment. And I'm like, oh my God, look at what these women did. And then in the final song, I'm like, look at how women are being treated now.
Right.
In 2024.
But it's a motion of keep moving, keep marching, keep making these changes happen. You know, it leaves you being like, the change can still be happening today. And so it takes you through. So the entire musical, the new wave suffragists are fighting with the older version who like to appease and do everything properly, and these ones are much more hard-headed. And so then by the end, there's the newest wave looks to be like probably in the 70s or so, and she was saying what you're doing now to the lead actress is outdated and we need to do more than what you did and yada yada. So you just felt like,
I just was like, oh, there's so much to be done.
Right.
And there's so much happening in the world right now. And so many women are being treated horribly.
Yeah.
Again.
Always.
Not again,
you know?
And never stop.
Yeah.
I would love to read more about the show, like behind the scenes and what they're doing to empower these women now to make changes. I'm like, I wonder if they're giving money, if they're doing, but it's hard to run a Broadway show. Like, I know it's not easy. And
I think what they're doing is enough. You know, like this is a huge moment for Broadway, the inclusivity of this show. We have somebody who is in a wheelchair. We have a trans woman. We have a very diverse cast. I think they're doing a lot.
They are. I just think I'm like,
it's never enough.
The social work student in me is like, it's never enough.
Right.
What more can we do?
And that's how you should be. That's, I think, how they want you to like walk away. Yeah. So that's perfect.
Yeah.
But also, it does suck. But it made me take a step back and think about how different I act and how like I can vote. And the older suffragist women, they were saying, we will vote as our sons and our fathers vote. And now like there's not really that same allegiance, especially once you are an adult. And so I just thought about that. And you know, I've never felt, you know, I have to vote how my family votes or how my friends vote. And that's something that was a foreign concept. And that's how they sold their amendment to the president is it's another vote in your corner when you let your mother vote. So anyways, it was really moving.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about it now. I love that song where it's the president singing about women.
Yeah, the president was
I really like that song. I'm excited for the album.
I'm really excited for the album too. I'm so excited. Let's give a shout out to the president. It was okay, so it was President Woodrow Wilson, and they were played by Grace McLean, and she was so funny. And she like improv'd some too, so that's something exciting to look forward to. Like this show covered a lot of different things. It was dramatic, it was sad, it was dark at times, and then there were lighthearted moments and some comedy was involved. So it was all around great.
The
show.
music was somehow cohesive. While also having like vastly different songs.
Somebody explained it like the female Hamilton, and I think that that's somewhat appropriate. There were some parallels. There's this song, the song, I think it was Great American Bitch. I keep thinking I'm saying the Olivia Rodrigo song, but that was very much raise a glass to freedom, because they were all drinking, they were at the bar, and they were all just like, you know, talking about their experiences. And so there were things reminiscent of Hamilton, which like I really liked. I thought that was fun, because
Hamilton
who doesn't love Hamilton?
is in its own class.
I know. It certainly is. So who would you say was like your standout performer?
I love Hannah Cruz. I think Jen Colella is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And like she did not falter from her character once the whole time. But
yeah, she was steadfast.
Yeah.
She was really good.
I have to say Shayna Taub.
I loved Lucy Burns, who played Alice, Paul's best friend.
She's so good.
Yeah, her name is Ali Bonino, and I just really liked her character. She was really fun to watch. I thought she was an amazing actress. Anyways, it was a gorgeous show.
They were all good.
About female friendship, female empowerment, female history. Literally go see SUFFS. Probably like, other than Gatsby, this is kind of one of my favorite shows of the season. It's hard to say, like they're so different. I can't really compare Gatsby and SUFFS. But in terms of overall season, this is a standout for me. Okay, cool. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Let's head on into our Broadway grosses.
Cha-ching!
That's my favorite thing. Okay, Bryn, tell us what number 1 is.
The Lion King.
Yes, that is right. Lion King is number 1 as always. Wicked is number 2. Hamilton is 3. Aladdin is 4. MJ is 5. I'm so freaking sick of these being our top 5. Can we please have some new? Can we please? We have all these new musicals. Let's bump them up. Can we? Can we? Is that possible? No. You can be honest with me. I know it's not really possible.
Well, no. Also, to be fair,
wait, but we do have a newcomer.
These shows are in massive theaters.
Yes, no, of course.
Like they are in the biggest theaters.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
I like to look at percent capacity.
Yeah, see, if you look at it, Lion King has 95%, whereas Wicked has 100%. I mean,
yeah.
The Gershwin is full, honey.
A lot of these new shows have 100.
Okay, so let's go on, because there is a newcomer to the top 10. Do you have any guesses?
Is it Gatsby?
No.
Oh. Hell's Kitchen?
No. Oh my God, think big. You know it. I know you know it. Cabaret.
Oh, of course.
Of course. Cabaret. That is crazy.
Of course.
But hold on, I skipped one. Harry Potter is 6. Cabaret is 7. So they only had, get this, Bryn, this is insane.
They only
had
shows?
6 performances. Their top ticket sale was $600.
Yeah.
Their average ticket price was $238.
But their operating costs are definitely high, because they give everyone a shot of alcohol when you walk in.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And those like $700 tickets, you're given a full meal.
Okay. All right.
So it's like their operating costs are high.
Okay. But do you pay for your meal on top of it?
No, it's included in the $700 ticket.
Wait, this is wild. I need to do a deep dive on that.
Because you sit at a table. They redid the whole theater.
I know this.
You sit in the round.
Properly a cabaret vibe.
Yeah. You get like a sticker over your phone camera when you go in. Yeah.
I want to go. I so want to go.
Oh,
okay, cool. So they are still in previews, y'all. Moulin Rouge is number 8. Let's go. Sweeney Todd is 9.
Their
Back
capacity was not good.
It looks like it was 93. It's not that bad.
It's low for them.
Yeah, that's kind of how it's been.
Really? Since Aaron and Sutton started?
Yeah, I would say so, when it's not super touristy. They do only do 7 shows a week, or at least they did last week, so that affects it some.
Yes, they do only do 7, because they're dark on Mondays and Tuesdays.
And to round out the grosses, Back to the Future is number 10. But let's see what is right below number 10. We have The Wiz. That's crazy, but they just opened, so that could be a reason. They are still in previews, of course, and their capacity was 97%. And then we have Merrily, but that is because it's so low because Daniel Radcliffe was out this week.
True. I didn't even think about the fact that it was missing.
Yeah.
But yes, Daniel Radcliffe was gone.
And then we have Anne Juliet, and then we have Gatsby. So that's how we're looking, guys. As far as new musicals, that means that Gatsby is doing the best, other than The Wiz. But it was its opening week, so it's kind of like gonna have a big opening week, and then it possibly could fall down.
Wiz is also a revival.
Yes. What do you think about Wiz? Sorry, I'm just like,
oh.
So
I'm dying to see it. I would love to see it.
Do you think that it'll do well? I really don't know. Okay. I know Wayne Brady is huge. I would like to see them, but I don't know.
It has the name.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
like
TBD.
Cabaret too. Also,
sure.
The Wiz, I've heard great things about because it's the touring company. They like toured, now they're on Broadway, and then they're going to start touring again.
Interesting.
So I've heard amazing things about the tour.
So that's an interesting marketing ploy because I would think that people who are like tourists in the city would be like, let's not see The Wiz because I know it's going to hit, the national tour again soon. So I would think it would deter people from going to see it in New York. Although,
Possibly.
Broadway is the Broadway experience. So people would want to see it there. But at the same time, like, that's what I do. If like my friends or family are visiting and they're like, oh, we want to see this show. I'm like, yeah, but it's touring next year. So let's see something that's exclusively on Broadway.
I don't think it's going to be at like 100% for its entire run, but I think it's going to do well.
Okay, cool. And so it is technically a limited run?
Yes.
Oh, till when?
I think it's like 20 weeks, maybe the end of the summer, the end of August.
Live fact check, y'all. Let's see. We have 2
Glindas on Broadway now.
There's a Glinda in The Wiz?
Glinda the Good
I just
Witch.
don't know a lot about this show.
It's like Wizard of Oz, but as told by, like, it's all Black actors.
Right.
Which is, there's a line in Glee where Kristen Chenoweth, April Rhodes, is like, I'm leaving to go mount my all-white production of The Wiz.
That was so crazy.
And it's so bad.
Oh
bad.
my God. Y'all know I've been watching Glee again. I remember that line. Gosh. It's so funny how they sing Defying Gravity in Glee. And then like 2 episodes later, Kristen Chenoweth and Adina are in it. And it's like, okay, so we're all just going to live in this state of disbelief that like you don't know who they are.
Yeah, there's a couple times too, when they go to New York, there's like a How to Succeed in Business advertisement in Times Square, which then Darren Criss goes on a leave from the show to be in.
Oh my gosh, Inception. Glee Inception.
Like all these weird little, I think they like talk about a movie at one point that one of the actors was in. And they're like, oh, they exist. Like Diana Agron, I think it's Diana Agron, exists in Glee, but so does Quinn Fabray. Like so many weird crossovers.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
But at the end of season 2, when they're in New York, they film a song in the Gershwin.
Ooh,
it's amazing.
I'm excited. I haven't gotten that far yet. Okay, so that's our Broadway grosses, everybody. Some shakeup happening, which we love to see. Let's head on into our news this week. To kick it off, we have a cast announcement that has been... She's screaming. That has been highly anticipated, y'all. The Great Gatsby, well, actually, it's just called Gatsby. That is going to be at the Art in Cambridge, Massachusetts, finally has announced their cast. Who are we excited about? Why are we screaming?
Ben Levi Ross is going to be Nick Carraway.
Yes.
And I can't explain. Me and my mom have already like tried to see if we can go to Massachusetts for this, but they have like very explicitly said it's a pre-Broadway run. Like their Instagram is B-Way Gatsby. So, like, it will come to Broadway. So I'm, like, telling myself it's okay.
It is.
But when it does come to Broadway, the fact that Ben will finally be eligible to be nominated for a Tony makes me so happy.
There's no confirmation he'll stay in the cast, though.
There's no... but why wouldn't he?
I hate to say that to you. Yeah.
Why wouldn't he?
You never know.
He said he's been, like, part of the project for, like, a year.
Yeah.
Nick Carraway is, like, the lead.
Yes.
Why would he not?
I completely
What else is he
agree
gonna
with
have to do? It's not like he's like, I can't think of someone. I don't know. There aren't that many. You have to be of like an A-list celebrity to leave a show after their pre-Broadway run.
Yeah, but you never know.
You never know. No, you never know. Of course, I know that.
I would be nervous.
But I know Ben.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Y'all are best friends.
And
the way you said that, but I know Ben.
No, like I
know. Yeah.
Feel like I know his character and the kind of person he is, and he wouldn't leave. Like, why would he not follow through?
Yeah, totally.
So just like the fact that more people are gonna see his talent too, like makes me so happy because he is like
her favorite Broadway actor.
My favorite Broadway actor, because I just think he is so freaking talented.
He absolutely is.
He's so talented. Also, I'm actually more excited about this Gatsby than the current Gatsby because the music is by Florence Welch from Florence and the Machine. And I think it's going to be fantastic.
So tell me about why Florence Welch does it for you. I'm just curious because I don't exactly get it.
Well, I'm kind of like, I'm not like super like, oh my God, Florence Welch specifically, but like that style of music. Like,
okay,
their
the dog days are over.
Like, it's just more like indie folky.
Yeah.
You know, it's not as much. I haven't seen Gatsby on Broadway. I saw it off Broadway, but I don't remember a single song.
Go see it again.
I'll see it again, but like it off Broadway didn't do anything for me.
I had the exact same opinion. It is so improved.
I know. But I also just like, I've never seen the movie. I've never read the book. I have no, But anyway, So we'll see. Also in the cast, Solea Pfeiffer, who I love.
I was really surprised that she's not Daisy. She's playing Myrtle, which shocked me kind of.
Who's Myrtle again?
So Myrtle is the one that Tom Buchanan has an affair with, and spoiler alert, she's the one who dies at the end. Gets hit by the car.
Yes.
So she's real slinky and slimy, and like I love that for Solea.
That well.
However, like when I saw her name, I was like, oh, she's Daisy.
But I don't think Solea to me is this like sweet, innocent, like ooh,
flower,
posh,
rose, as they say in Gatsby with Jeremy. So in the cast as a whole. We have Isaac Powell, who will be playing Jay Gatsby. Now, Isaac has been on Broadway before in Once on This Island, and this is like so tragic. He was in the West Side Story as Tony, which opened on February 20th of 2020. And so it shut down and it never returned. Isn't that freaking sad?
That's tragic.
Tony in West Side Story. So this is like his redemption arc. I'm living for it. I know him because I think one way or another, he made his way onto my Broadway boyfriends list because I saw a video of him singing Dancing Through Life. Go look it up. It's gorgeous. And he's a very, very talented. What I kind of dig about this cast as a whole, it's much younger, which I think will be really different and set it apart in certain ways than the Gatsby that's on stage right now. Because, I mean, this is so surface level. However, Jeremy Jordan and Eva Noblezada, you're supposed to believe that they were like at a military ball together, and he is quite a bit older than her, and she's also very young. And so anyways, it just is like a little, it doesn't, I love it. I like, this is just like a personal thing. It's like quite not so believable because if she was at a military ball at her age, then she would have been underage, like when they fell in love.
How old is he, Jeremy Jordan?
I think he's 38.
Okay.
And Eva, I want to say, is like 26.
28.
Yeah, you know that?
I'm like 99% sure of that.
Anyway,
so he's younger than Reeve Carney.
What?
Reeve Carney's in his 40s.
No.
Isn't that spooky?
I hate finding out people's ages, and when it shocks me, like I can't. Yeah, he's 40. What? Wait, hold on. And let's verify how old Jeremy Jordan is.
I mean, he's been around for a long time.
39. Okay, yeah. Reeve Carney is 40 years old. Why am I shocked right now? That is shocking.
Because he's 12 years older than Eva.
Which is fine once you're obviously older.
But when they met, she was like 23.
That's the thing. There's nothing wrong with that. That's totally fine. Anyway. Yeah.
It icks me. I don't know.
A lot of people have a lot to say about their relationship.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah.
Moving on.
There are, if you want to go down a Reddit hole, there are many, many that you can go down. This is a talk for the Patreon. Yeah. We'll talk about it.
Also in the Art Gatsby, Ellery Ward. Do you know who she is?
Just from TikTok,
From
right?
TikTok, yeah. And she's always been like, I had my whole life I dreamed of theater and this, and my voice was never what they wanted, because she has like a very folk indie voice. So I think that also makes me excited for the music.
Sure. And she's playing Jordan Baker, so that's really exciting for her. Charlotte McInnes, who has not been on Broadway before, will be playing Daisy. I found a TikTok of her singing and she's hella folky. So this is definitely going to be that vibe, which is not my vibe. It feels notebooky, and that's not my thing, but I'll definitely see it. Obviously, I love Gatsby, and I cannot wait to compare these two. Like, I'm going to have a full episode where we just break down these two Gatsbys, what we like about one, what we like about another, Like, I'm sorry, I know you shouldn't compare theater, but I'm going to be over here comparing these two, and I wish they were coming in the same Tony season because that would be crazy.
Yeah, which I think is why, despite it's like mid-level reviews at Paper Mill, that's probably why Gatsby rushed to Broadway this season.
Well, they may have rushed, but they did it right. They took the time
Yeah.
and they made improvements, y'all.
I
I'm
need to
so
see
serious. Okay, so let's see who else. Matthew Amira will be Wilson. They have not been on Broadway before that I could find. And then the big name of the show, at least the biggest Broadway resume of the show, is Adam Grepper, who will be playing Wolfsheim. And he has been in so many things on Broadway, but to name a few: Into the Woods, Wicked, Guys and Dolls. I don't know his name. However, once I looked at his resume, I was super impressed. He is a seasoned actor. So yeah, Gatsby is going to begin previews at the Art starting on May 23rd with an opening night of June 3rd, and performances are going to continue on through July 21st unless they extend. We shall see. Rachel Chavkin, who also directed Hadestown, is going to be directing this, which that's like a perfect mix because Hadestown is a very similar vibe to what I feel like Florence Welch is doing. And also something cool to note, in the movie Gatsby, Florence Welch made one of the like titular songs of it. So that's cool.
I didn't know that.
You should listen to it. You might know it. It was kind of popular.
It's almost entirely sold out.
The run is already? Good for them. That's incredible.
I was looking. There's about a 5-day period, I think from July 16th to July 21st, that this and the Queen of Versailles overlap in Boston.
So you're like, we could do both.
Yeah, but I can't get it off work at that time. But I think Queen of Versailles will also come to Broadway.
Yeah, it's intended to.
But that would be such like a cool little theater weekend.
That would be cool. Like an off-Broadway weekend in Massachusetts. That would be so cool. Okay, so that is really big news. Everybody has been tracking this, wondering, lots of rumors around who would be cast, what direction the show is going in. And now we know, and it sounds like they've got a lot of unique characteristics that they're using to set themselves aside from Gatsby that we currently have, which I think is what they need to do. And I like a younger cast. I think it's gonna.
I love it. I think it's gonna be amazing. I think Levi Ross's voice with Soleia's voice is gonna be amazing.
They're not really gonna sing together a lot, I wouldn't think, because she's Myrtle and he's Nick.
True.
Their characters don't overlap a ton.
I don't know why. Oh no, Ellery Ward is.
Oh, but
they'll sing together.
Yes, they will.
And their voices too will be so good.
I haven't heard Ellery's voice.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
Okay.
She does like folk covers of Broadway songs.
Nice. I saw she did like a folk Sondheim thing.
Yes.
I think she's actually pretty big in the community.
She was either at Miscast last year or will be at Miscast this year.
Miscast is coming up, y'all. I entered the lottery. Just
Good.
So you know. Okay, let's move on to our next piece of Broadway news. Outsiders has officially opened on Broadway. With that, we get reviews. But before we get to that, let's talk about who is in attendance. And there were some heavy hitters. Yes, one being the producer of the show, Angelina Jolie, and her daughter, which is just crazy. If I would have had like the thought to go and like try to see who I could see at this like red carpet, I totally would have gone because obviously she was going to be there.
Was she in the movie?
Don't think so.
Okay.
She's just a producer because her daughter was a huge fan of the off-Broadway show, and her daughter took her to go and see the show back when it was in California.
Yeah,
it's off-Broadway, and so then like she like roped her mom, which I just like love that. Angelina Jolie's daughter is like a theater girly, and she's like, "Mom, come on, like come see the show." And then her mom's like, "Yeah, I want to support you. Like let's produce." Like that's so cool.
That makes sense. My first thought when I saw that she was there was.
She was in the movie.
Was she in the movie?
That would have been huge. Like, that would have been crazy. But no, I don't think so. But also in attendance, Queen Latifah, Josh Rader, S.E. Hinton, who was the author of The Outsiders, was there. My queen, Sophia Ann Caruso. Just had to throw that in there. And Peter Gallagher and Catherine Gallagher, which actually, y'all know Catherine Gallagher. She was in Jagged Little Pill. She was at SUFFS last night.
She was.
Yeah.
You know what I actually have
crazy.
In my bag right now?
What?
A copy of The Outsiders.
Oh, no way. Did you buy it there?
I got it for Christmas. I'm not in my frame right now.
Oh, that's so funny. Are you reading it or have you already read it?
I was going to start it on the subway here and then I didn't.
It's a quick read.
I took the cover off for purposes. Anyway, but yes.
Nice.
Where is it? S.E. Hinton. There There it is.
There she is.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Okay, so let's talk about the critical reviews. As we like to do here, we use Broadway World, which gives a thumbs up, middle, or thumbs down. And I love how like you have your like kitschy, if y'all are watching on YouTube, Bryn like always does like, she like motions it. It's just so cute. I love how you have like your own like fun little kitschy things you do for the pod.
Because when I'm sitting here just listening to you talk, I'm like I feel like I need to do something.
You have to do something. I love it. I absolutely love it. If you're not watching on YouTube, you're missing out. Anyways, so this show got 1 thumbs down.
Oh, it did in the
Just
end?
one. Yeah, it was the one that didn't load
Oh.
when we were looking at it yesterday. So 1 thumbs down, 6 in the middle, and 12 thumbs up, which is really, really good. It's better than The Notebook. It's better than
Water for
Elephants. So this is really good for The Outsiders. So let's read a couple of the reviews. I liked this one from Emlyn Travis from Entertainment Weekly. She said, quote, "For many, The Outsiders is a story that not only remains as raw and relatable as when they first read it, but also pushes the very boundaries of young adult fiction with its insightful ruminations on brotherhood, identity, and the cycles of grief and violence. While its musical adaptation may have its squabbles, its heart of gold still remains firmly intact." Gorgeous. That's very, very good. So that was one of the like thumbs up good reviews. Sarah Holdren from Vulture, who I love following their reviews. They have an amazing theater section. I would recommend looking to them if you're looking for critical reviews. So Sarah said, quote, "The Outsiders is taking a real swing at being the strongest entry in this season's wave of singer-songwriter outings on Broadway. We are living in a post-Sarah Bareilles age. Ingrid Michaelson, Pigpen Theater Company, Shayna Taub, Anais Mitchell are all currently waving at one another from around Times Square. But whether or not the same people who make catchy pop records can also craft a solid score is another question. Chance, Clay, and Levine can. And if The Outsiders sometimes traffics, perhaps unavoidably, in cliche, it makes up for it with the tenderness and muscle of not just its songs, but its staging and performances." So I haven't seen this, so I have to turn to Bryn for like, what do you think of these reviews? What would you say?
I think they're very accurate. I loved it. It's absolutely my favorite new show of the season, for sure.
Oh my God. Wait, I didn't know that. That's huge to say.
What would beat it?
I don't know. You really like The Notebook.
No.
Okay.
It's not comparable.
Okay. You like this better than SUFFS?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Then
I cannot wait to see it.
Yeah, I mean, this, when I see it for the second time, maybe I'll be a better judge because I'm so like, was it just because they're all really hot?
Yeah, you're swooning.
But no, I think I loved the music. The staging was incredible. The choreography, like before I saw a lot of these shows, when we saw Hell's Kitchen off Broadway, I immediately was like, they're winning the Tony for choreography. But I think Outsiders has a very good chance at beating them.
I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The fight scene is crazy.
Love. Okay.
I love the music.
Yeah.
Their voices are all just like my kind of like Broadway boy voice. Like
they're very good.
A lot of the voices remind me kind of, for you, like John Cardoza, like Ben Levi Ross even. Like they're just so good.
I gotta see it.
We have to find a time. I need to see it again. Like yeah, I really, really, really liked it. There's a line, I think it's the last line of Jesse Green's review from
I'm
the
gonna
New York
read that
Times.
one next.
Okay.
Do you want to say what
the
it was?
line is, I think, stunning things are happening on stage at the Jacobs.
Yes.
And I think that is such, it's still got like a mid thumb.
Yeah, but reading this, I haven't read the entire Jesse Green article yet, but yeah, it doesn't sound like it's a middle of the road review, especially from him, which he goes pretty hard when he doesn't like something. So let's read the whole thing. So, well, not the whole thing, but this excerpt. Jesse Green from the New York Times says, quote, "And yet the musical version of The Outsiders that opened on Thursday has been made with so much love and sincerity, it survives with most of its heart intact. Youth is key to that survival. The cast, if not actually teenage, their singing is way too professional for that, is still credibly fresh-faced. 5 of the 9 principals are making their Broadway debuts. That there's no cynical distance between them and their characters is in itself refreshing to see. He goes on to say, like Bryn mentioned, quote, many stunning things are happening on stage at the Bernard B. Jacobs Theater. And from the sobs I heard the other night in the audience too. Quote, that sounds so good to me. Like, I need to read the whole thing because maybe he said like some negative things, but I'm like, this is a success. This is a success. Way to go, The Outsiders. Literally, round of applause. Congratulations to the cast, to the crew, to everybody involved, to Angelina Jolie. Way to go, and her daughter. I just know, like, they've got to be so proud of what they've done. And I think Tony season, they're going to be in really good standing. I'm excited to see what happens.
I will say for Tony's, Joshua Boone, I believe is his name, who plays Dallas, is my pick.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
She's calling it now, y'all. She's calling it now. That's crazy.
That's my pick from The Outsiders. I don't know if I think that he will win with this season being what it is.
Yeah, totally.
But I think he'll probably be nominated for supporting.
It's going to be a tough season, y'all. Okay, so let's move on to our very last news story, which is going to be a quick one, y'all. We got word. Like, we have been waiting. There's been a lot of conversation happening. What? Britt is like whispering to me, what?
Patti LuPone.
No.
Oh. Patti LuPone is coming back to Broadway.
Wait, what?
In the fall. She's doing a play.
I thought she turned in her card, her like actor's card.
No, she's coming back and she's not equity now.
Okay, well, we'll have to talk about that on the Patreon because how was that not put across my desk?
Because it's not like 100% fully confirmed. Like there's no like venue or anything, but she's coming.
Okay, we'll talk about that. That's not what I'm talking about. What I am talking about is that we finally know who Dr. Dillamond is in Wicked. I feel like you really like set me up for like a huge reveal and now it just feels a little like rim wump. But it's a big deal, y'all. So we've been wondering because we didn't see anything about Dr. Dillamond in the trailer. We haven't had this is the only character, like main character that hasn't been cast. So a lot of us were thinking somebody else's character has replaced Dr. Dillamond, which like I wouldn't have been that mad about, but it is like a huge plot point of the story. But get this, Peter Dinklage, who if you don't know him, Google him. I promise you know him. He is a huge get for the Wicked movie. He will be not technically playing Dr. Dillamond, but voicing him.
Interesting.
Yes. And I love when Playbill released their article, this was the first sentence. They said, quote, he's the GOAT. And that was it. I was like, that's so funny.
I love him.
Because he's the GOAT. You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
Oh my God. Elf is like our favorite, my family's favorite movie.
I love Elf.
My dad looks exactly like Will Ferrell. Dad, if you're watching this, my dad watches these on YouTube when I'm on the podcast. So hi, Dad.
Hi.
My dad and Will Ferrell look a lot alike. And Elf was like our favorite movie. Anyway, Elf. We always quote like, call me Elf one more time.
Yeah.
He's an angry elf. And then Peter Dinklage like runs down the table.
Yeah, I love
it. Is he in like Game of Thrones or something? Or
I
Lord
think
of
he was
the
in
Rings?
Game of Thrones, and then he was recently in a movie musical. I want to say it was called Cyrus or Cypress. I had never watched it, but he can sing, and so you know something.
Yeah. I think my dad has actually. Sorry.
Something bad happening in Oz. Okay.
I think my dad actually ran into him in Toronto once.
Shut up. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I think he's like.
I would be so starstruck to see him.
He's great.
Yeah, he's like amazing. Yeah. So he's a huge get. It's very interesting. It makes your mind wander of like, how are they doing this? Is it not going to be like a man/goat? Obviously,
CGI.
We're not going to have a what's that character in Narnia?
I don't know.
You haven't seen Narnia?
Not in a long time.
Okay, well, the listeners know who I'm talking about, and they're probably screaming that character's name. Anyways, so it sounds like it's going to be like a literal goat, and Peter Dinklage is just going to be voicing him. So, like, easy money. He's going to be in, like, probably the biggest movie of the year, and it sounds like he probably got a really good deal for it because it's just crazy that we haven't known this until now, when every piece of casting news has been groundbreaking for the community. So it's like, why didn't they tell us? Is maybe Dr. Dillamond only going to be in the second half? That doesn't really make sense. I don't really understand the reasoning. Maybe since he's just voicing it, they didn't need to put him in until now. Who knows?
I wonder if they didn't want him to be in the promo because they want what the character looks like to be a surprise.
Yeah, now I'm going to have to go back and watch
Yeah.
the teaser and see if I see any goat.
I think it'll be in the first movie.
Yeah, but it's just so bizarre that it's going to literally be like a CGI'd goat.
Yeah, it'll
Or
be
a goat.
interesting.
Like, yeah.
In other Wicked news, they just announced the new tour cast.
Okay.
They're replacing the tour cast, which I'm excited about because Wicked is going to be in Toronto this summer.
Yeah.
When I'll be in Toronto, so I'm going to see it because my sister loves Wicked. And one of the understudies who I love from Kimberly Akimbo, who I went out of my way to see, is going to be Bach.
Oh, yay. That's so exciting.
Mhm.
Which one? Do I know him? No, he's
His
an
name is
understudy.
Alex Vin.
Okay.
I don't think he wasn't in when we saw it. He has like long hair.
Okay.
He's so nice.
Of course he is. He's in
so
Kimberly.
talented. I've seen him cover all 3 of his roles in Kimberly, which is really cool. So yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, well, everybody, that wraps up this episode of From the Mezzanine.
Wrap it up, put a bow on it.
It's ready. It's ready for your ears. Bryn, thank you so much for joining me.
Of course.
And
I
now-
begged you to come on.
I know, literally. Bryn has been like dropping subtle hints like, I would love to be on the podcast this week. And I'm glad we made it happen. You're the best.
I think it'll be my last time for a while, so
Oh my God. Freaking just can it.
love you
Can't hear
guys.
Yeah, Bryn might be leaving us soon, but we're not going to talk about it. Okay, anyways, go meet us at the stage door over on the Patreon. It is in the show notes below. Become a Broadway Bestie, and you will get one of these super duper cool postcards from yours truly. Maybe since Bryn's here, I'll have her sign some too.
Oh my God.
Gotta use
It's
it
gonna
for
get
the
to my head.
content.
It's gonna get to my head.
Okay, thank you guys so much for listening. You can go follow me on TikTok and Instagram at From the Mezzanine. Leave us a rate and review. Share this episode with your Broadway bestie because I am sure they're going to enjoy it.
Just as much as you are.
Yay! Okay, thank you guys for listening, and I will see you next Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.